Jump off curbs, how to go over speed bumps, and just how to generally ride your Segway a little bit better. This is just one of the cheaper ones that have the 6.5-inch wheels when you go off a curb. The important thing when you go off this curb is you want to kind of jump a little bit. So right as you're going off, you want to make sure you have enough speed. You don't want to slow down. So you want to make sure you just keep going with the speed, and then keep your feet flat, and just kind of jump up and then land. And then just land straight, and you'll be good to go. I'll show you how to do it right now. That's the basic technique. So it goes like this. Kind of jump. Boom. Another trick I want to show you is how to go over a speed bump, which I'll show you over there. Alright, let's go do the speed bump. Actually, for the speed bump, there's one other cool trick you can do anything. Just kind of fun. Now I'll give you some general tips and tricks too to keep in mind. But like if you have like a speed bump like this, like curbs. If you have curbs like this, you can go up the curb and then come down backwards with one side only. Back around. It looks really cool. It's fun to do. Like that. So to do that, you want to be careful when you go up. Don't just go back down straight, otherwise it's not that fun. You want to have a little bit more weight on one foot than the other. So a little bit more weight on this foot right here as you come back down. And it's like that. So it's very similar to when you want to do this right here. Go over here. So it's very similar when you want to kind of take a wide turn and then come a wide turn backwards like that. Rather, you're not just spinning. You're going like wide turn, a wide turn. Like that. So it's similar to doing that. All right, speed bump time. Now I'll show you some more general stuff. Woo! Right, now to execute these properly, what you want to do, it's similar to go off a speed bump. It's similar to riding a skateboard over a speed bump, or even a bicycle over a speed bump. I mean, unless you just like ride right over it. You want to kind of get your knees bent like this. Have your knees bent a little bit. And you want to kind of act like a shock absorber. As you're going forward, push pause. Sorry about that, big loud truck is going by. So anyway, so you want your knees kind of bent. So when you go over, you want to kind of jump a little bit, almost like you're trying to jump off the hoverboard, kind of like on a skateboard. You want to just like go over. You want to kind of pump, like you know how you do bike pumps over like a big bump. So if you're like going over a big bump at the skate park, you know, a hill like this, you want to kind of pull all your weight up, and once you're at the height of the bump, you want to press back down like that. Similar thing here. You want to pull up and then come like back down. So it's like boom, boom, like that. I'm gonna do it one more time from the back. Maybe it'll look a little different. So kind of load, go up, and back down. And I'll try from the front view. Stay right there. Start from the front view. One kind of load, up, back down. You don't want to just try to roll right over it unless you got like big 10-inch wheels. Like we got some off-road ones of these coming. These are the 6.5 wheels. If you got big 10-inch wheels, or like even maybe the off-road ones that have the 10-inch wheels, you might be able to just like go like and ride. Like watch how different it is. You try to ride right over it. When you try to ride over it, it's a lot harder if you try to ride right over it, especially if you try to go slow. You know, it's like it doesn't feel as cool. If you want to try and get air, you want to try to pump it. Especially if the curb's bigger. Like watch, if I try over this big curve over here. Come closer. This curve right here is really big, especially like right here. If I try to come up over this, it doesn't want to go, see? It just stops. So to go over a big curve like this, you pretty much have to jump it. And it's definitely a little more advanced. It's not a simple technique. So this is a speed bump that I can't just roll over. I have to actually load and pump to get over it. Now if you do that's kind of slow. If you go kind of faster, you can actually go over the air. So let's see if I go a little faster this time. So I'll do it one more time. If you're going kind of faster and then kind of pump it, you get a little bit of air to come over it. It feels much, much cooler. All right, so now we'll go do some general tricks. So let's go ahead and I'll meet you over there and start with plus. Ready? All right, so now for some basic techniques on how to ride the Segway. First off, how to get off and on. I know it sounds like it's stupid, but when you first get a Segway, you can actually hurt yourself by trying to walk off forward. So you always want to step off backwards like you're stepping off a stair. Just like that, like you're stepping like you're doing a stair climbing or something like that. When you step onto the board, same thing, just step right on one foot, the other foot right away. Especially if it's a cheaper board, it might register too fast, and you step on it and then you're gonna start doing this and it's gonna start going around. This one's already bounced, but see, sometimes it'll start getting out of control on you, and then you're like, oh, what the hell did I do? Like that, and then it's hard to get on. So if you just step on, bam, bam, you're good to go, and then step off, bam, bam. Okay, that's how you get off and on the Segway or hoverboard. Another important thing is when you first get on it, you're probably gonna go like this. Because your body, your brain's trying to acclimate itself to the board. After a while, honestly, it feels like second nature. It just feels like your brain is just controlling the board like it's just part of your body. So what I recommend doing to start getting your brain trained for the board so that you're balancing yourself is go like this. Make it slow. Then stop and go the other way. Now to do that, you don't want to make your feet go like this, hard. It's a very slight, you can do this right here. Be careful though, because if you go too fast, and you don't move with it, when it wants to move, you can actually, really tear your knees. That's not good. So just kind of slightly rock your body like this. That's all you gotta do, is just slightly rock your body. It's a very, like your feet hardly do anything at all. It's mostly your body weight just slightly leaning one way or the other way. Very important. We want to go backwards or forward. Same thing, just slightly lean your body forward or slightly lean it backwards. I'm gonna show you from this way. Slightly lean it forward, slightly lean it backwards. I'm hardly using any of my feet. I'm not like trying to put my feet like this or like this. If I do that and try to put my foot forward, it goes whoa, and I'm gonna lose control. All right, so wide circles versus tight circles. So tight circles is like this. And basically what you're doing is, you're not doing this. This is different. It might look almost the same, but they're a little different. This is where you're staying standstill and you're just going around in a circle, right? So you're just kind of doing like this, your feet just barely, or with your body, and it makes your feet kind of slightly do that. A circle is where you're putting more pressure on the outside. This is where it's weird with the board like this. You would think that naturally if you wanted to make a turn like this, that you put the weight on the inside, because if you're on a bike, you're gonna put all your weight on the inside of the bike. If you're on a skateboard and you're making a wide turn like that, all your weight's gonna go on the weight on the inside here. In this case, it's kind of like that, where your weight's on this side, but you want to make sure you're pushing a little bit of pressure with this foot, otherwise you won't do nothing. The board won't go nowhere. If you just put all your pressure, look at this, that's what happens. All my weight's on this side, nothing's happening. I have to put a little bit of pressure on my front toe in order to get it to move around and do a wide circle. You can also do a tighter circle, just by pushing a little bit harder. All right, so that comes in handy when you want to do like weaving in and out of stuff. So if I want to do S-curves, like weaving out of stuff like this, you're not so much pushing, you're not making your feet do this, you're more pushing off this outer foot, putting a little more pressure on the outer foot, a little more pressure on the outer foot. So it's almost like I'm trying to lean all my weight on this side. So if I want to turn that way, I'm leaning this way, like that. So my weight, if I want to lean back that way, all my body weight goes opposite side. It's weird because it's at first it's not intuitive. So you want to make sure, if I want to go like this, right? I'm not leaning my weight on this side. I'm leaning my weight on this side. I'm staying straight though, but I'll put a little bit more weight on this side. That's important when you want to go fast and go in and out of stuff. So I'm going to show you really quickly going in and out of, well, you'll see in a second. Let's just go and check it out. Ready?
Go.
Do those backwards movements, it's kind of the same, but you want to put more pressure on this back foot, like this, a little pressure on this foot, and that's going to give you that backward movement. I make it look easy. It's actually not that easy. It takes practice. So the first couple times I was trying it, I would go like this and fly off the board. You want to make sure little weights on this side, or your weight's on this side, but you want to make sure you put a little bit of pressure with your back heel, just a little bit of pressure, not too much. So all your weight's kind of staying flat on this foot, but all your weight's on this side. So I'm like pushing all my weight on this side. This foot, I'm going to just slightly put a little bit of pressure on my back heel, and that's going to get me going that nice turn. I'm going to put more pressure, and then boom, I turn around. All right, let's go over here and check out some other cool shit.
Oh,
Yeah, cute puppies with us.
cute puppy.
So if you have a really narrow spot like this to go through, and it's not going to fit through, I mean, you can if you get really careful, you can get through it. But let's say it's too narrow to get through. What you want to do is put one side through a little bit, back up, like this. So put one side through a little bit, back up, one side through, and then you come back through reverse, and then one side through again, like that. Now, watch, look right here, what I'm about to do. Go like that, see, because I got two. All right, so see all this right here? And that's what happens when you hit the wall. All right, so if you have a bunch of speed bumps or cones you want to weave in and out of them, I don't know if you want to get a little bit closer or less. As long as you can see all of me. Right, so let's say you want to go in and out of these, right? So just try to keep the camera on me. Let's show the bumps real quick. So you want to go in and out of these, right? There's not much room between each one. The idea is you want, when you go through this, you want to put the weight on your outer foot a little bit. So as you're going straight, you're kind of putting all your weight, you're kind of leaning forward. You're not putting your feet forward. You're leaning your whole body just a little bit forward to go straight. That's how you go fast. If you don't do that, and you don't keep the knees a little bit bent, you'll lose control. You'll start going like this when you're going fast, and you'll like fall down and stuff. So put slightly more pressure on that foot. So slightly more pressure on this out foot right here will make me turn this way. A little more pressure on this out foot, and then we go back this way. You just alternate. Unlike a skateboard, if you're on a skateboard, you would be leaning your body in like this to make the turn, and in like that to make the turn. On the Segway, you don't want to lean your body in like that. Like you don't want your weight to be on this side. If your weight's on the inside, you're not going to turn right. Instead, try to keep your body like straight, like you're going forward, and all you're going to do is put a little bit more weight on this foot to turn like this.
Sadie.
Put a little bit more weight on this foot. So
Sadie.
To do a proper S-turn, you go straight with your body, not with your feet. Put a little bit of weight on this foot right here, on your outer foot. So in this case, this outer foot over here. Put a little bit of weight on this outer foot. It's gonna go like that. Now, once I hit this turn right here, I'm gonna switch to a little bit more weight on this outer foot here, but all weight is still. I'm not gonna put all weight on this foot. Otherwise, I'm gonna go like this. Boom. So my weight is still distributed forward. I'm just putting. So in other words, both feet have weight going forward by me leaning forward or leaning backwards, however you want to do it. Now if I'm leaning forward, so both feet have weight going forward. The only difference is as I'm leaning forward, I'm leaning just a little bit more pressure. I'm putting a little more pressure on this foot here to turn. I can make wide turns, like around this speed bump right here, for example. This is really good practice for this right here. Just make a constant circle around something like this that's wide, like this big. So to do that, then again, the most important part is as you're going straight, weight here, shift your weight to this side, shift your weight back to the right, like that. I'm gonna go do it one more time to show the difference. I just want to make sure this is understood, because this is, I think, probably one of the harder things to do when you want, especially when you do it fast. If you're going fast and doing this, I guarantee you will crash if you don't use proper technique. So proper technique again is you move yourself like you're going straight, just like normal. Except when you want to make a turn, you're putting a little bit more pressure on the outer leg. It's the opposite way you're turning. So if I'm turning left, that is, this is left, turn for me, I'm going to put a little more pressure on my right leg. I'm going to put just a tiny bit. And once I reach here, I'm going to turn my pressure now to this leg, and then straight, and then this leg, like that. And so it's just the opposite leg. It's the opposite leg that you're turning. My Segway's starting to die. And pretty much you're trying to go straight. You're not trying to turn. You're trying to go straight and only take a little bit of pressure. Just like that. So it's just the opposite pressure, opposite pressure, opposite pressure. Still leaning forward the whole time. If you stop leaning forward, you won't get it right. And then you can go like this and get a wide, just go like that, boom. You do a S curve like that and go backwards. When you go backwards, I think a lot of people have a hard time going backwards. Backwards is just leaning your whole body back just a little bit. You don't want to try to use your heels, just slightly lean your body backwards. This thing's going to die soon, like probably any second. So just lean your body backwards a little bit, and that's how you go backwards. And bam. So that's some of the basics on riding a Segway and some of the cool tricks. Another cool trick you can do that before this thing dies, I'll try it right here underneath the light. Keep in mind, this is not even ground. It takes a while to ride on uneven ground like this, because you're gonna be trying too hard to balance yourself like this, and hit a bump. You gotta just like roll with it. You gotta just let your body go like this. Like let your knees do the shock absorbing. Otherwise, you get a little bump and you're gonna go flying, or your Segway is gonna go flying and crash, especially if you're going fast. And also, if you notice when you're going fast, like right now I'm gonna go fast. You get the high speed like that, if you find yourself wobbling a lot, it's not the board, it's you. And I learned this, because at first I thought, all these boards suck. But once you like get used to like keeping your body straight, you keeping these are shock absorbers, like keep your knees are shock absorbers, then it's gonna hit all the bumps and you're not gonna like wiggle around and stuff. All right, so what was I gonna show again? Push pause real quick. So it's still beeping, meaning it's gonna die probably.
Do that again?
No.
Do that, I already got it, go.
No.
Do your cholo dance. Yeah, look at that gangster. Watch out, Sadie's about to tackle you.
I'm making fun of McGregor, you know? He's all like, that's the McGregor walk. Alright. Just got the new swagtron here, so just to compare sizes, these are the ones I was riding before and I showed the video how to do it. Look how much bigger the swagtron T6 is. That's the off-road version. They also make an on-road version. Basically just different tires, really. So these are the typical ones you would buy. These ones are normally like 700, 800 bucks, but anyway, they were on sale for I think 400 or 500. Totally awesome. And that's from the Swagtron site, so get it now while they're on sale. But anyway, they have a slightly wider foot stance, as you can see here. That's how I'm gonna kind of try and keep it the same. You have a little bit wider, not much. There's just a little bit more space for your foot to fit on here. Definitely better quality. But I mean, look at that tire size. These are the 6.5 tires, so they also make 8s and 7s, things like that. But if you find a 6.5 tire one, they're fun. Just keep in mind that they're a lot tinier than these. So yeah, you can see the difference. And look at that. That's like crazy. And this thing weighs like 21 pounds. This one weighs like 31 pounds. So super different. Anyway, stay tuned for updates on this thing. I already have a video on this one showing how to ride and do tricks on it. I'll be showing you guys how to operate the bigger, badder boy. And probably not much difference, but just different things you can do on it. And just show some general riding and just quick like little review of what I think of it. Alright, so stay tuned for that. But damn, another one over there. Boom, alright.